then yes. Okay, there they go. Okay. I have this game in some logic. It's not needed. Okay. So that's not it. I want to know them to. So now daily workshop. Wait. Okay, that should be fine. So this was access. Okay, absolutely fine. Okay, fine. Let's go to workshop daily. Amazing. So now this is not really needed. Let's delete it. So now let's try to get you the key. Share this. Copy the link. Copy and put it into your teeny URL. I think that is not needed for this class. One moment. Where is my folder? G drive. Again, go back there. Workshop. Share it. Share it. So restricted should be changed to anyone with the link. Copy the link. Okay, done. So you should be having access to that Google Drive. Could you please quickly check and give me a thumbs up if you have got access? So the PDF1 and PDF2 are something what we have covered, and then K-means and NN is something what we are going to look at. Yeah, thank you, Karthik. All right, fine, good. So already, if one has access, everyone should be having access. So now let's try to look at this. So while I'm trying to teach you, please look at it. Yeah, thank you, Javed. So like while I'm trying to teach you, please look at it. And after that, I'll again give you kind of a little bit of time. You could try kind of exercising that too. Okay. So now I'm simply trying to tell you a little bit about what is happening under the so-called big word called learning, right? We are always speaking about the model is learning and all that stuff, right? So now we really want to break that down and look at it. What is this learning all about, right? So now let's try to look at it. Just pay attention. So you are simply choosing an something called your two and then putting it to your AND gate or whatever it is, update your truth table. So the first part is not really to your interest. So not for our interest for now. So let's try to look at from here. Okay, so there is an what you say, some kind of an truth table or like some input data saying that if first two values are 0 and 0, the desired output is 0. If the combination of values are 0 and 1, then the value is 0. 1 and 0, it is 0. And 1 and 1, the output is 1. All right. So now let's try to look at it. Number of hidden layers are basically only 1. Number of neural layers are only 4. So you could always reduce. Number of nodes are only 2. And then some activation function and learning rate. Okay, again, this is not really to a great interest of us, but someone who is technical should be able to understand what is a weight, what is a bias and everything. But we wanted to understand something different. So let's try to initialize and then do something called train. Okay, so now what is happening there? Let's try to wait and look at it. Did you see something very surprising has happened? Initially, it was in a decreasing pattern, and now it is basically an increasing pattern. Okay, let's wait what is happening altogether. So this is your input, and these are your values which are to be discovered. And this is the value, these are all the values which are to be discovered. And this value is always being inferred incorrectly. So for that reason, now this is getting adjusted. All right. So let's wait. So when I say getting adjusted, what is happening? We will also scroll down and look at it. You see, there is something called loss calculation. Okay. So what is a loss? you can see from the correct answer, how far is it basically is something which is being calculated. That is basically your loss calculation. Okay. Having said that, something else is also to your interest. You see, this is what is your weights and bias. What does that mean? So, like you see, whenever a value is going into the system, so there is something called W00, W010, W10, and all that stuff. So along this way, your input, what is your input? Input is your 00, 10, 11, and all that stuff. This value is getting multiplied with those numbers and then getting transformed basing on your activation function and then going as your output. Okay. When you say the model is being trained or model is learning, what exactly is happening under the hood? This is what is happening. What is that? This is nothing but your weights getting adjusted. Okay, this is basically called your weights and bias. And this is something which is getting adjusted. Once these values basically reach an optimum value, wherein which your model accuracy is 100%, then the model is basically considered as learned model. Okay, let's again go back and look at what is happening here. So it is almost there. Okay, so let's try to give it some more time. So this is what is your learning with respect to at least a neural network. So in a like kind of other ML models, something like what you say, your linear regression, polynomial regression, and all that stuff. So the sklearn basically uses a different kind of libraries. Okay, but in this case, we are simply trying to use something called your SGD algorithm, stochastic gradient descent algorithm, and then trying to realize this thing. Okay, so it's almost there. So I'm expecting it to cross over 5.0 or like 0.5, which will start to be inferred as your logic 1. So any value which